Hi everyone, this is Key. In this video, I want to give you a sense of the prospecting workshop, the all-day in-person prospecting workshop that I do, and what's in it for you, the agent, if you ever decide to participate in it. Why should you even consider it? And I'm sure that if you're watching this video, it's because your broker or your team leader or somebody in your organization within Exit has decided to bring this training to your office. So what is it all about? Let's talk about it. First thing you need to know is the actual title of this workshop is Prospecting Mindset, Scripts, and Local Phone and Face-to-Face Canvassing. Now, what do I mean by face-to-face and on-the-phone canvassing? You see, in real estate, there are two sides, right? You have the listing side, which is when the agent represents a seller, and you have the buyer side. Most of you know that. Now, what is inventory? Well, inventory is listings. Have you noticed that buyers buy the inventory? They don't buy what's not in the inventory. They buy what's in the inventory. Therefore, if you want to have a long-term career in real estate, then really what you want to be focusing on is the acquisition of listings. And the reality is this: listings are a skill. Listing are activities that agents do to acquire them. They're not a sales technique per se. They are an engagement technique. It's a way to let people know in your local market that if you're thinking about buying or selling, especially selling, if you're thinking about selling your home and moving somewhere else, we can help you. But did you know that in our industry, real estate, only 3% of real estate agents prospect or canvas 2 hours a day? Now, a lot of people go, what are they doing? What is the rest of them doing? Well, they're waiting for the phone to ring. They don't realize that listings are gotten. Listings are not given. And when you decide to be a prospecting agent, you decide to control your fate. That's really what it means to be an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is somebody who controls his or her fate towards getting the listing he or she deserves. And they do it methodically, deliberately, and with a skill. So for me, in this course, if you choose to attend it with me in this workshop, you need to know not only the mindset, how to think about becoming and being a prospecting agent, how do you actually leverage it to get listings after listing after listings and build a long-term career. You already know some people are doing that, right? And you may be thinking that they're smarter than you or they're more outgoing than you. They just have a plan. Your plan may not be working the way you want it, or maybe the skills that you need to develop have not been honed in yet. Let me get deeper into this workshop. Usually in this workshop, my workshops are hands-on workshops. We don't just talk philosophy. We actually learn how to do it. We think of it like this. If you're going to learn how to bake, we're going to be baking. If you're going to learn how to ride a motorcycle, we'll be riding motorcycles. So this is a practical, checklisted workshop. And the reason it's practical is I don't want you to just learn the philosophy. Although, don't get me wrong, getting the right mindset or why you should do something is always important. That's always important in anything you do. But once you have the philosophy, what is the practicality? How do you approach people? What do you say? How do you say it? What are the scripts? What are the skills? What is the diligence? What is the courage that is required? See, getting the listings you deserve is a skill. You'll hear me say that again and again and again. And it's not just one skill, it's multiple skills. It looks something like this. Imagine you were an actor and you like to be on Broadway. Well, guess what? If you're going to be an actor, you need to have lines. You need to know what to say. You need to know how to interact with the other actors. Where real estate is not about sales. It's not about you convincing somebody else to sell their home or making them be afraid that they should sell their home. That is not your job. That's a sales technique. What we want you to be engaged in is listening to those who have the mindset, the desire, or the need to sell their home, and they pick you as the agent. See, the problem with real estate is not that you don't deserve listings. It's that you're not asking for them enough. And those who ask enough get enough listings. It's a tricky thing, I know. But you don't want to ask and make people uncomfortable. You don't want to be salesy when you're asking. You want to be an engagement agent. And there is a skill to it. There is a way to learn how to present your services, your brokerage services, in such a way that the other person, if they're thinking about selling, will consider you. Let's look at it another way. At the end of the week, your job is to get appointments. Your job is not to convince people to sell. Your job is to have appointments for them to talk to you and decide, you know something, honey, we're thinking about selling. We should probably talk to Exit Realty. Exit Realty is going to help us. They have the technology, they have the marketing, they have the agent, they have the brokerage. They are known locally. We're going to work with them. That's what you want. You want your foot in the door. And until you get your foot in the door, which is prospecting and canvassing, it's very hard to do this business. Now, how do my workshops work? Well, usually it's a day workshop, 9-ish to 4-ish. Check with your broker. They have the facility, they have the places, they have the date, they have all of the requirements. Your job is to be on time. Whatever your broker tells you to be there as early as you can. In fact, I'm going to encourage you to go to bed early, to have a good night's sleep. But also, I want you to prepare. I want you to bring all of your fears, your questions, your hesitations, the things that scare you about prospecting, the fear of rejection, which for many is very real. And then you want to be able to know where to go. I mean, there's a venue that will be secured by your brokerage. Find out what it is. But it's really you. If you focus on your business, you usually do well. Now, during the workshop, let's say we start at 9-ish. We'll do an hour and a half, 90 minutes, 75 minutes to 90 minutes. We take a break. Then we do another 75 minutes to 90 minutes. Then we take a lunch break. Then we do 75 to 90 minutes. We do the third part. And then we finish on the fourth part. I try to go from 9-ish, whatever the brokerage requirements are, to about 4-ish. And then I usually like to stay, to just banter, take questions, and take pictures and selfies and whatever you guys want to do. This is going to be work. If you're going to be coming to this workshop, you don't want to be coming in as an observer. You cannot sit in the back and just observe. We're going to actually do the work. We're actually going to do the necessary things that you need to do the work properly. Now, what else should you know? Well, let me give you a sense of the topics. I measure several topics. The first one we're going to be talking about is your prospecting mindset. Let me get rid of this calendar thing that just popped in. We're going to be talking about your prospecting mindset. We're going to be talking about your time blocking. If you're going to be a prospector or a canvasser or somebody who asks for business to get listings, well, you need to have a time block. You need to know how to prioritize your day in such a way that you get those appointments. I mean, what is the most valuable asset to an agent? Her time, his time. That is the most valuable thing. You cannot have more time. So therefore, you need to use your time properly. The next thing we're going to be talking is about phone canvassing. How do you use the phone, and what scripts specifically can you use that are engagement scripts, that are not sales scripts, that help you get somebody to interact with you and talk to you about their daily approach? The next one is we're going to be talking about neighborhood canvassing. How to get known at the local area. You've heard of this idea called farming. Farming in neighborhood is becoming the agent that the people who live in that neighborhood get to know, so that if they're thinking about selling, they pick that agent. We call that local farming or neighborhood canvassing. And then we're going to talk about event canvassing. Let's say you have an open house. How can you use it to get more listings? Let's say you're doing a blood drive in your office, or maybe you're helping a school. How can you use it to get known as a listing agent? We call that event canvassing. And all of these things have a different script. And there is a technique that you need to learn. It's called the Bravo technique. I will introduce you to it. And it's basically a way for you to start learning how to ask for business in a consistent manner. And the Bravo technique is a way for you to start actually creating your own scripts. How do you create your own scripts? How do you interact with buyers and sellers, especially sellers? And that's really what I want to focus on. I want you to become a top listing agent. How do you interact with sellers so that when they're ready to move or ready to make a change, they think of you first? We call that developing your own script. Now, what is a script? Think of yourself as an actor. What does an actor do? An actor has a script that they have to do on television or in the movies, correct? Well, believe it or not, you're an actor. You are, and I don't mean you're an actor, meaning acting somebody else. You are delivering information to people. And therefore, you have to tell them why they should pick you. So you really are acting. You have a script. Now, what does it mean to have a script? It simply means that you write it in such a way that it fits your personality, so it sounds like you. A good script is never a script that you say verbatim. Maybe at the beginning when you don't know what to say, you say it verbatim until you find your groove, you find your energy. But the real scripts, the people who do it well, you don't even notice it. You don't even notice that they're doing a script because they have been saying it so often, it comes off naturally to them. Your job is to understand that scripts are not supposed to make you sound like somebody else. A good script makes you sound like yourself. And that's the opportunity of this workshop. In this workshop, we're going to learn, depending on the situation, what do we do to ask for business? Don't kid yourself. Until you ask for business, there's no business to be had. There are more agents than there is business. Therefore, the agents who learn to ask for business and are proactive rather than reactive, meaning waiting for the phone to ring rather than making the phone ring. When you are proactive, you control your destiny. When you are proactive, you decide where you want to go. And that's what an entrepreneur is. An entrepreneur is proactive. So, how do you register? You contact your broker. I'm going to ask you, if you're going to attend this workshop, try to have somebody help you so that you are present at the workshop. The worst thing you can do is show up at the workshop and spend half of the day outside on the phone. or distracted by your phone or distracted by social media. If you're going to make an investment in yourself, make an investment in yourself. How do you do it? Very simple. Go to bed early. Wake up early. Prepare all of your fear questions. If you could bring your questions about how to become a better prospector, how can you double your listings? If you could bring those questions, what would you ask? What are the fear? I already know one of the fears, and you already know it too, is the fear of rejection. The fear of rejection. What if you ask for business, somebody says no? How do you handle it? Well, there is a way to handle it in such a way that that person sees a glimmer of confidence in you. The currency of success in real estate is confidence, not arrogance. Confidence. Confidence means you know what to do, you know how to do it, you believe in yourself, and you're not afraid of asking for business. And it takes a while to develop it. And then what I'm going to ask you to bring with you is a spirit of collaboration, a spirit of gratitude for the brokerage that is bringing this workshop to your office. And I need you to bring your focus. You need to understand that you choose what to focus on. Yes, you do. You actually, if you look at the past, you will see all of the things you focused on, and you actually did very well. Am I correct? Yes, you do. There are things in the past, when you focused on them, you got them. Well, guess what? Listings are the exact same thing. You get what to focus on, but you need to have a playbook. Just think of yourself as a player in the NFL. If you had a playbook and you have a coach and you have your brokerage and you have the team, Exit Realty, behind you, they'll say, do the play. Just do the play. See what happens. And guess what? When you have a playbook, focusing on listings and going to raise your career, you will do a lot better. I'll share one more thing before I end this video. There is a direct correlation between agents who learn to prospect and agents who sponsor into exit. They're very connected. The skill that you need to learn to be proactive about asking for business, which we call prospecting, canvassing, engaging, whatever you want to call it, that skill is the exact same skill as sponsoring other agents into your company. I don't have to convince you that sponsoring works. Therefore, guess what? If you want to become attractive, you want to become a listing agent. I mean, of course, if you want it, I mean, you don't have to do this. It is up to you. You choose to participate in this workshop. Let me end with this quote by Jim Rohn. He says, successful people do what unsuccessful people are not willing to do. Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. See, every time you choose to be better, you become better. Yes, it's a choice. Every time you wanted to learn something and really did well at it, you got it. And you did really well with it. Well, guess what? Getting listing, becoming successful as a top listing agent in your area is a choice. But it starts by having a playbook, a mindset, a preparation, scripts that are organic, that are not salesy. And you becoming better is you deciding, I can do this. I'll give you one more thing. I know I should leave right now, but I want to share with you this book. When you get a chance, get this book. The Power of Self-Discipline by Brian Tracy. The book is called No Excuses, The Power of Self-Discipline by Brian Tracy. And the top part, he says, 21 ways to achieve lasting happiness and success. What is he saying? He's saying at the end of the day, you have to decide that if it's going to happen, it's going to happen because of you. You are no longer an employee. You're an entrepreneur. You got to make it rain. You got to make things happen. It is up to you to make it happen. Of course, If you're new, or maybe you don't have the confidence yet, or maybe you don't have the script, or maybe you don't have the playbook, the workshop is for you. Come to the workshop, learn what you need to learn, but then make a promise that you will apply what you learn. I look forward to seeing you in one of my classes. I look forward to seeing you in my workshop. It's going to be a lot of fun, but I must tell you, it's going to be work. By the way, the handout for this workshop is 30 pages long. So that tells you we're going to be working. We're not going to hang out. We're going to be doing some work. But I promise you, you apply the work, you get the results. I look forward to seeing you shortly. Take care, my friends.